What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to the Point of View crew, shout out to the joiners, and shout out to the homeboy, Tulsa White Boy, for the package, touchdown homeboy, and thank you for this outsider shirt. Got great taste. I mean, this is something I buy for myself, and I seen it, but I was out and about. So none of the most love and respect to you, brother. I really appreciate it. Today I'm gonna talk about this dude named Jamie Osuno from Bakersfield. So this dude, I don't really want to talk about his case. He has a pretty crazy case. I don't want to talk about what happened once he went to prison with his life sentence. Crazy stuff went down the cell. I don't really want to touch on that much. I just want, what I think is kind of interesting, I'll add very quickly, is I saw him right before he caught that term. I don't know him all that well, but I did see him. I'll get to the story in a minute. Only probably a few months before he caught that term. And he asked me, which is kind of odd, asked me if I was PC. Usually people in the straight up ask you that. And I didn't know him all that well. Well, I just let the story unfold, and you'll see how well we knew each other. But he asked me, hey, you PC? And I said, no. And I said, are you? And he said, no. And then when he got a few months later, got busted for this term, I seen him going to court with the blue band, PC'd. So either he lied to me about being PC at that time, or he PC'd up over his case. Which I can see that, because the case is pretty gruesome. Pretty hardcore, kind of weird. Have people tripping like, dude, what are you on? Why would you do some shit like that? Again, I don't want to talk about it. If you don't know and you're curious, just look him up. Google him, you'll find stuff easy. So, here's how I know him, man. Met him a handful of times over the years, and it just played out like this. Trip on this. I have a big family on my mom's side. Lots of aunts, uncles, cousins. Happened to be living with one of my uncles. So, one day, parole goes to raid the pad. They find out I'm staying there. The beat that team. Bakersfield Felony Apprehension Team. Goes to push up on the pad. My uncle sees him pull up. Now he has a little chicken shit warrant for a speeding ticket, driving on a spindle license. He didn't go to court, failure to appear. He thinks they're there for him. Takes off running towards the back door. He has a cold beer. And he set it down on a dresser. It's right inside of a closet. Then he goes out in the backyard, jumps the fence. Now he's in the neighbor's yard looking at his pad. Through a hole in the fence. Cops just let themselves in. Front door was open. Come in. Start walking around. Looking around. Pardon me. And notice that cold beer. And it's right under an attic access. Little hole thing in the ceiling. Like, get up in the attic. You know what the attic access is. There it is. Right under the cold beer. So the cops are like, oh, he must be up there. So they linger around the pad for a couple hours. Even call my mom. Have her show up. Yelling up at the attic access, crying, Kris, they're going to throw a canine dog up there. Please come down. My uncle's watching this unfold thinking, what in the fizzuck? Finally, when they leave after a couple hours, like I said, my uncle comes out from his hiding place and finds out they weren't even there for him. They're there for me. And he's heated. He's pissed off. Gathers my belongings and throws them in the front yard. Puts the SOS out there that, tell Kris come get his shit. I didn't hear that I was SLO. Shit out of luck. I didn't get the memo. My cousin did, though. He heard that my stuff was out there rotting. He was at work. But we're pretty cool. We're close. So what he did, since he lives right down the street, called his wife. Said, hey, Kris's stuff's out there. Freddie threw it out. Go grab it real quick. Her being a female and anticipating maybe some heavy objects, didn't want to go alone. Went and got her homegirl. Happens to be married to Jamie Osuno. That's the connection. So my cousin's wife is good friends with Jamie Osuno's wife, or now ex-wife. That's how I met him, how the whole thing happened. So they go get my stuff. Nice enough to bring it to me all the way across town. I see them. Hey, what's up? Meet him. He's in the back seat. Hey, what's up, Jamie? My name's Kris. I say Kris. I'll say Splinter around family. You know how that goes. Anyway, hey, what's up? So, I'm saying, look, all my shit's not here. She goes, well, we'll drive you back over there. And maybe he forgot to throw some stuff out in the front yard. We'll go look. So, we're driving over there. And he's short. I didn't really notice that he's short. Look, I'm 5'10"-ish. Maybe a tad bit under. And some people want to try to say I'm short. I suppose I am short to some people. But this dude, he's shorter than me. And I didn't even really know he was short when I got in the car next to him. Or like, shorter than me. But what was kind of funny about it, I was telling a joke about a dude I met the night before who was short. I was making like a short person joke. Not really a joke. But just what I said was I was at a party. And this couple showed up. And there was a couple and the chick was like several inches taller than her boyfriend, the dude. And the chick went and sat down in a chair. And her boyfriend sat in her lap. And I saw it. And like snicker, snicker. Some people saw it and was like, I mean, it's a sight to see. Hey, look, homeboy, don't sit in your lady's lap and don't hold her purse. That's just like bro code type shit. I just say nothing. I'm minding my business, but it's kind of funny. And now I'm telling these people on the way to look at my stuff, yeah, this like dude, he was all short and shit, and he was all sitting on his lap, and was making a joke. Then when we got to the spot and got out, I noticed this dude Jamie's short, a lot shorter than me, and I was like, oh, I kind of felt awkward. And I wanted to say, I wasn't talking about you. And a minute ago in the car when I was talking about, I wasn't even talking about you. But that would have made it worse. Have you ever had that happen? Like, could be someone's passing by on the phone. Yeah, he's sitting right here. Yeah, he's dumb and ugly. I'm not talking about you. It's happened. So, be that as it may, man. Then look. Times go by. Before I get to that story, let me just add this in real quick, por favor. Even, for instance, I had my pad. The cops raid my real righteous pad. I got an old lady there. My mom's living there with me. They take me to jail. Of course, mom stays there. And I say, hey, let this girl, I was only with her like a month or so, let her go ahead and stay here in the pad too while I'm in jail. She'll be in contact with me. Still my old lady. Whatever. Let her stay here. Everything's going great until she started inviting this dude over. This dude, and he was going to my room with her, and they were shutting the door and putting like the blanket in the lap. Just watching movies. I mean, they're friends. Look, now as I found out about him, blew up. Like, are you saying you don't trust me? No, I'm saying no one with hairy legs allowed in my room while I'm in jail, period. Had nothing to do with trust, has nothing to do with you. Just a basic rule I adopted a long time ago. I was like, look, okay, here's like a rule. It's like, okay, when I go in jail, no one with hairy legs can lay in my bed. I think that's fair. If my girlfriend watch TV, I think it's fair. No hairy legs. As far as I know, my brother's got hairy legs. It says swinging nuts. Not allowed on my pad. And as a matter of fact, neither are you. Get out for your poor decision-making skills and because you got me fucked up. I just look like this. Get out. I tell my mom to tell her to get out. And my mom's like, no, I don't want to tell her to get out. And I said, okay, mom, if you won't tell her to leave, then you leave too. My mom's like, rise up, bitch. Yeah, now my mom understood the assignment. She still wouldn't leave, though, so I had to call my cousin. He came over with some reinforcements. She was locked in the room. They got her out, and she left. But she got me on the phone later, the next day. Like, yeah, it's messed up. And she's like, man, your cousin brought over this real crazy-looking fool. Do you even want that dude knowing where you live? And I was like, was it like a short Mexican dude? She goes, yeah. I go, okay, that's who it was. I'm sure it was Jamie. Because my cousin doesn't know, like, a whole bunch of, like, crazy-looking people. Had to be him. Be that as a man. So, the following time I see him, I was struggling. It was a very rough day for me. I'm at the spot. What it is, this spot, they have a lot of people. They sell syringes. A lot of people in and out all the time. It's a very busy house. I'm in there struggling because, like, I guess I got pranked. I guess I'll call it prank. This girl who I thought, like, was a friend. I didn't really know her, but she seemed cool. And, man, she did me dirty. Like, it was kind of weird. Because I had a blemish. This is just a pimple. A barely little tiny break in the skin. And I was sitting there, and that girl was sitting there, and I didn't even know her. And someone else, I was like, man, I got this, like, a little blemish. And she said, here, I have some Clarisil. And I was like, oh, Clarisil? And I was like, cool. And I put some on. But as soon as I put it on, it was like, it like dried up, and it turned black, like green black. And literally my eyes start like swelling. I was like, what is this? She goes, makeup. I go, makeup? He says, Clarisil. She said, no, my name's Clarissa. I said, my name's Clarissa. Do you want some makeup? I said, no, fuck that. I know for a fact you didn't say, my name's Clarissa. Here's, you want some makeup? Because I would have said, no. You said, here's some Clarisil. She said no. I didn't argue with her. What I did do was went and called my girlfriend and said, come pick me up. For one, we're on my welcome. Time for me to go. And for two, I'm having some sort of reaction. Allergic reaction. This girl put some makeup on my face on a blemish. I told my girlfriend. She don't care about the blemish, the reaction, the 102-degree fever I have, the black-green color on my face. She's just tripping on the girl and the makeup. And I'm like, no, that's not the issue. No, we just focus on me and the struggle I'm going through. We can call this an illness. I'm not well. We might even have to stop at a doctor. Do you have my insurance card? This is a big deal. No, she don't give a fuck. What's up with the girl? You let girl put makeup on your face. She was hanging up on me. I'm arguing. And then all that in the process, here comes this dude Jamie. Like 4 or 5 deep. A crew of people. Looking for someone who screwed someone somewhere along the way. They came to regulate. And they're like posted up. Not going to go nowhere until they find the person. The person's known to frequent the spot. And I'm just like, it was only a little bit of foundation. She said it matched my skin tone. And I look out there, and he's like, hey, what's up? I know your cousin shit, but I only want to show, like, the good side of my face. I was like, oh, yeah, man, I mentioned that one time. So we were probably at that pad 2 hours together and didn't really talk. He sat there on the couch the whole time with his people, and I sat in the kitchen the whole time arguing with the lady, trying to tell her to come pick me up. Not worry about the Clarisil that Clarissa gave me. Just come through. So, hey, man, but trip on this. When I did end up seen him later, right before he did catch that case. And the case he caught at a motel. And I almost want to say, like, for a while when I seen him on the news and they showed the news footage of the motel, I'm like, damn, that's the last place I saw him at, that motel. But then I'm thinking, no, it was a different motel. Very similar though. One story, old, built in the 50s, straight druggy motel. No sober person come walking up like, how much? Going through town, need a room for the night. This looks cool. No. On site, you're like, oh, stay away from that. Unless you're like a hardcore user. You're like, oh, what's going on here? So, I went to go look for my homeboy. His mom lived in a house next to these tour motels, druggy motel. I thought he was supposed to be getting out. He was out right around then. He wasn't out. His mom's looking for him. No, he's not around. Then boom, I look over and see Jamie with some other dude. And they look real suspicious. And it's the nighttime, and they're over this motel. There's, no street light. They happen to be staying in the spot with no street lights on them. They're like hiding in the shadows. But I see them, they say me. Hey, what's up? I know your cousin. We go through that whole thing. Yeah, what's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah. He's like, hey, we're getting ready to rob this guy. We're getting ready to get him. You want in on it? He's like, he's getting ready to be here any minute. We're going to do this and that. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. As soon as I said yes, I went in on it. I regretted it. I was like, how can I get out of that? Because he was putting off a weird vibe. What kind of vibe was he putting off? He was putting off, he was on some weird shit. I just feel like I couldn't even relate to him. Just real sketchy in the eyes and just got a weird vibe. As soon as I said yes and I found myself the third member of their crew and we're plotting, my instincts told me, back up out of this one. And I was thinking, how? Because not one of those things you'd be like, yes, I'm down right with you guys. Nah, never mind. I've had a second chance to think about it. Nah. I mean, I guess you could, but just, I wasn't feeling it. I was like, damn, how am I going to tell him? And then he said, discussing the plans, that they're going to carjack him. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh, look, carjacks, I fold. I'm out. Carjack, like, that's like, man, that's a lot of years. A lot more than just a little strong arm robbery, take his dope. I'm down for that. The little strong arm robbery, take his dope. Cool. The carjacking, no, you're bumping it up about 10 notches. Super straight. No, I'm good. It's like, backed out of that one. So then I just went over, back to the homeboy's mom's pad, knocked on the door. Shanta's like, hey, is homeboy back around? She's like, I just told you 5 minutes ago. And I was like, yeah, just roll with it. Because fuck, I want those fools over thinking I got somewhere to be. So she let me kick it on the porch. I watched. That dude did pull up, and they got in the car and took off. And I was, man, sorry to be that dude. That dude got some kind of, I don't know what kind of issue he had coming, but they did him dirty, I'm sure of it. Anyway, then I see on the news, not too much later, he ended up catching that charge. And it's crazy because they tried to interview him on the news. And they're trying to interview him on the news. They couldn't even put none of it on the news because it's so hardcore. They had to edit it all out. He was answering the questions just with like some of those vulgar and gruesome stuff. Like, we can't run that. It's almost like, what'd you guys expect? And they even came on and said that, like, well, we interviewed him and we had an interview, but his answers were just, no, we can't even put that on TV. And it's like, what'd you guys expect? What do you think he's going to tell you? You asked him some crazy questions and he gave some crazy answers. And talk about, can't put it on TV? What in the fizz? So, but hey, there's another time, man, that I turned down like a little thing I was going to do. I was talking with these people. They were going to do this burglary to tell me about it. And there's going to be all these badass guitars. That's what got me interested. There's a bunch of other stuff that was more valuable and even better than the guitars. But no, what had me interested was those guitars. That's what I wanted. So we're talking about it. We're plotting it out. They wanted to park their car and hike in 5 miles to the spot. And I was like, what? Mom, am I in or out on this one? A 5-mile hike? I mean, it kind of sounds fun, but not in the commission of a felony. Because then we got 5 miles to get away. What if we need to get away fast? Like, can we hike in 2 miles? Why 5? I was almost like, I'm not feeling that. And then they don't, you're asking why. They just, don't ask why. No, I believe I'm going to be asking why. When I'm doing something like this, commit some felonies, and you want to say it's walk 5 miles. I believe why is a valid question. That's how we're going to do it. Then they said, we're going to straight up and just burn the house down. Again, pair of jacks, I fold. I'm out. Burn it down. We're going to burn the motherfucker down. Like I got over swallowed the bitter pill of the 5-mile hike, and then you're going to get there and burn the fucking place down. Jeez, why? That's cray-cray. And I don't use that word cray-cray very much. I don't like it, but it's very fitting. And again, I'm going to burn it down, so I'm out. Fuck that. And then I left, and I saw them a couple days later, and they came back. They ended up not burning it down. They did hike 5 miles in. They had all the guitars and everything. And I was like, fuck, dog. I want those guitars. Like, nope, you could have went with us. Yeah, but you told me you're going to burn down. Then he didn't. I feel kind of like, should have called me like from the storm. Like, never mind, we changed our mind on the burning. Then I would have showed up. Oh, they didn't give me a guitar, man. Kind of pissed me off. So, I don't know, be that as it may. Chip on this, though, man. That's about all I got for you. I feel like there's another story about it. I don't know, man. It should be sufficient for now, I reckon. The batch is looking good. Got the batch in the bathtub, batch of wine. I think maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, I'm going to drink it on a live, and it's going to be awesome sauce. And we're going to do the damn thing. And, I I know I always say it, gosh darn it, I put my foot in my mouth. It's even worse than talking about short people with a short person in the car. I just want to go ahead and say it. Another video tomorrow? A lot of you guys just probably like want to throw tomatoes at me. I know I say it a lot and don't come through. The best of intentions on mine. But really, I don't know if you noticed, go back and look at my catalog. Towards the end of the month, I do tend to kick it up a notch. I mean, this is the best time for me. Just if I could be all the way honest, I got to really build up the hours for March. So at the end of February, I'm just going to bump it up a notch. The next video, you know how I did that video? Woods and Skins, Gangs and Clicks. I'm going to do the NorCal version. Doing that. And then I still want to do, anyway, we're just going to start with that. Look for it tomorrow, the NorCal version of Gangs and Skins in Cali. Other than that, it was good for you, it was good for me. Shout out to the joiners. Still got some Prison POV shirts. Hit me up. Hit up the P.O. Box. Let's communicate. We can, damn, what's that real fancy word? Starts with a C. We can, correspond. Woohoo, I got a $5 word. Bing, 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 bing. We can correspond, you and I. Hit me up. On Instagram, just whatever. I'm going to cut the stream, let it fly. Peace.